Hi, this is Trevor Klee at Just Add Tutor, and this is Lesson 5, Web Presence and SEO. So at this point, I assume you've found a niche, you've crafted a website, and you've handled all the practicalities and logistics of running a business. If you haven't done that yet, then this lesson isn't going to make a ton of sense, especially the crafting a website part, because a big part of your web presence is going to be based around your website and around your niche. All right. So what do I mean when I say web presence? Because it's not really like a technical term. So when I say web presence, what I'm thinking of is like the online equivalent of your neighborhood arts and crafts store. So I'm neither an artsy person nor a craftsy person. I think I've gone to an arts and crafts store like once or twice in my entire life. What I can say though is that I know where the arts and crafts store is. And I know where it is because like I pass by it all the time. I see people going in and out. I see the arts and crafts stuff in the window. So even though I'm not right now in the market for arts and crafts, I probably will be in the market for arts and crafts like twice in my lifetime. I know where the store is, and if people ask me like, "Oh, hey, uh, where's the good arts and crafts store?" I can tell them. So we want the same thing with our website. We want like sort of a continual web presence. So even if people aren't looking for tutors right now, they're aware of your website and they're able to direct other people towards it. So how do we do that? Well, first way is really, really obvious. So we're going to get our business on Yelp, Google My Business, and any other directories. Like, it's very obvious, but when people are like searching or when they like, on Yelp or when they're searching for like, stuff near me on Google, your website should pop up, your business should pop up. It's like a huge source of new clients. It's totally free. It's really important. It's somewhat of a pain to get stuff on Google. It's somewhat of a pain to get stuff on Yelp. That's just the way they work. They want to make sure they're not overwhelmed, but it's doable if you just follow their steps. And you can also get reviews on there, so your social proof doesn't only have to be on your website, but it can also be elsewhere. So your overall web presence is improved because now not only are people aware, they're aware that other people trust you as a tutor. So that's really nice to have as a web presence, especially, and Google, I mean, like something like, I don't know, 1,800, something like that. People see my profile on Google every month on Google My Business. Now, very, very small fraction of those people contact me, but that's like 800 people a month who are made aware of my existence. That's pretty cool. I'm sure I get tons of business just because like people are aware. They're like, oh, there's a tutor in Cambridge who gets great reviews. And like they're just aware of that. They can talk about it to their friends, or if they're ever in the market themselves, they can find me. Speaking of directories, don't go on any directories you have to pay for. And I'd also say probably don't go on any directories that don't allow you to link back to your website. So the don't pay for directories, because the paid for directories are just never worth it. They cost a lot of money, and normally you just won't see that much business from it. I personally don't like going on website directories that will like either take a cut if like people contact me through it, or make me create my own profile. This is stuff like Wyzant or tutors.com or varsity tutors or whatever. Yeah, it can be nice because they can provide you with business, which especially when you're first starting out might be hard to get that business. But I personally went into tutoring in part because I hate working for other people. I hate giving some of what I make to other people. And like, I why am I just going to replace like a boss, like a physical guy with some website's algorithm and its policies? That for me is just ugh. I'd rather spend my time, marketing and getting more people in a way that I'm happy with, where I can still maintain control. But it's up to you. If you're hurting for clients, then sure, put yourself up on Craigslist, put yourself up on Wyzant, whatever. All right, so that's one way. We're going to have web presence. Second way that like people are going to become aware of our existence, another way that people are going to, basically a free way to get people to our website is SEO. Now, SEO is search engine optimization. This is just generally speaking how when people search on Google, or I suppose Bing or whatever, they're going to, search a certain term and they're going to find your website. So the most straightforward way of doing this, and I am condensing this a lot because if you look online, people write 1,000-page guides. There are all these businesses that will charge thousands of dollars to do SEO for you. The most straightforward way of doing this, not to make it too complicated. So first, make sure everything on your website is clearly labeled for what people will search for. So in the title of your website, put Boston Tutor, Boston GMAT Tutor, Boston GRE Tutor, Boston LSAT Tutor. Your domain name. I mean, you can even I just put Trevor Clee Tutor as a domain name. If you wanted, sure, you could do Boston Tutor as a domain name. Why not? Your menu options, everything on the top where it's GRE, GMAT, put Boston GRE Prep, Boston GMAT Prep. When you put images on your website, the title of your images, Trevor, instead of putting Trevor Clee, or instead of putting random string of letters and numbers, put the image title as Boston GMAT Tutor. For your image alt text, again, you don't put the alt text blank, put the alt text as Boston GMAT Tutor. This is very just straightforward, basic things, but it tells Google, this is what my website's about. You send a message to Google, you say, if people are looking for a GMAT tutor in Boston or a GRE tutor in Boston, well, there you go. Point them to my website. Second of all, SEO helps if you publish articles. So people usually take this the wrong way. They're like, oh, I need to start a blog, right? And they'll say okay, I'm going to post one blog post a day. First blog post, what I think about such and such. And then they'll post that. And then they'll put lessons I've learned from such and such. And then they'll do that for a month and they have no progress and they're like, crap. And then they give up. Don't do that. Daily blog posts are crazy. They're boring. You're going to run out of ideas really quickly and no one's going to read them. You really should just be posting two kinds of blog posts. First, questions that people ask. So what questions do people ask? Well, you can either use Google autocomplete. Those are all questions that people tend to ask. What score do I need on the GMAT? Google autocomplete will send that for you. Or on the other hand, you can use Keyword Planner, in which you put in a certain word like GMAT or GRE or whatever, and Google lists out all the different things that people search for and how often they search for them. So to give you an example here, I have a post that's how accurate are Kaplan cats? This is computer-aided tests, Manhattan computer-aided tests, Veritas computer-aided tests. These are all, the various test prep companies. People are always wondering how accurate they are. So I posted an article where I basically said, here's my opinion of how accurate these are. Here are my reviews. And I also posted, a couple links about, here's, my free guide to studying for the GMAT. Here's some study plans. But I answered their question in a straightforward way. And because of that, Google picked this up. Google realized that I'm someone who talks a lot about the GMAT, the GRE, whatever. This post is clearly about, Kaplan's GMAT, Manhattan's GMAT, whatever. So, they serve it up and I get 200 views a month on this post. It's not world breaking, but, I regularly get people coming to my website who would not have come to my website otherwise. And these are people who are interested in the GMAT. who are interested in the GRE, who are interested in the LSAT. It's helpful. All I did was I answered a question that people search for in a clear, detailed manner. It's not rocket science, just whatever people are searching for already, answer it clearly, answer it in a detailed way. You can also publish in-depth articles people will share and find useful. This is sort of different. This is like, not things that people will search for, but it's things that people should search for. So you can publish like a how-to guide or, reviews of like various materials or like a list of resources and how to use them. People aren't necessarily going to search for these. So if you do publish something like this, you are going to need to put it on Reddit or, forums or Facebook or whatever, but make sure it's useful. It needs to be something that people are actually glad you published and are actually want to like know, because then they'll share. So for instance, I published this, which is like an error log, which is a teaching tool I really believe in. And this is a really detailed one where it has a list of questions, difficulty, and it also has it set up. So this is how you should use it. This is how you should use this tool. It took me a while to do this, but it was worth it. First of all, people share it. People like it a lot. It's gotten me, interest from clients. And second of all, it just like gives me a good reputation. I literally had a guy send me a message like a week ago who said like, I love you for creating this. And he was like, seriously, I love you. And I was like, thanks. I mean, it was a little much. I don't know if he really loves me, but like, I appreciated it. And like, clearly that's a guy who, if any of his friends ever ask him about studying for the GMAT, or if he ever needs any tutoring help, he's going to reach out to me because he knows my existence because I published this guide that people like a lot. Last thing having to do with SEO is you need to get links from legitimate websites. So Yelp, Google My Business, other directories will help with these links. Also, if you can get links from any school websites, from any news articles, anything like that, all of these are very strong signals to Google that like you are a trusted source. Google wants to know, first of all, what is your website about? Second of all, do other people trust it? If you can get links, that means other people trust it. So that's, pretty much the entirety of how you're going to get people coming to your website. We're also going to talk about advertising later, but this is all the free stuff. You get your web presence, fill out any free directory, don't do any paid directories. Maybe do directories that don't allow you to link back if you're really hurting for clients. And work on your SEO. Make sure your website is very clear. This is what I do. This is everything, people should look at my website for. Publish articles people, answering questions that people search for according to autocomplete on the Google search bar or according to the keyword planner. Or publish in-depth articles that people should search for, and then they'll share it with their friends. Last, get links from legitimate website, directories, news articles, school websites, whatever, your friends' blogs. Anything helps to show Google that like you are a trusted source. Don't get links from like illegitimate websites. If it's like a sketchy Russian website with like your link next to like a porn website link, that actually hurts your SEO because Google's like, do I really want to show people this website, which also apparently like is beloved by like Russian porn connoisseurs? So make sure your links are legitimate, not just random. So anyways, and also, back in crafting a website, I talked about how I have templates. So if you use my free template or paid template, all of number one will be handled for you. You just have to put in your own information. Makes your life a little easier. Makes it so you're guaranteed to have more people coming to your website. So another reason to use one of my website templates if you're interested. All right. So anyways, that was lesson 5 on web presence and SEO. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time.